Every time you drive at night in the rain, you are actively participating in a highly orchestrated, multi-million-dollar scam. The oncoming headlights hit your windshield, shattering into a blinding, dangerous web of glaring light. Your wipers chatter across the glass, leaving a smeared, oily residue that makes your visibility even worse. You have been conditioned, since you bought your first car, to believe that this simply means your wiper blades are wearing out, or that your windshield is just dirty. You drive to the auto parts store. You spend $40 on premium silicone wiper blades. You spend another $10 on a bright blue, laboratory-formulated glass cleaner that promises a streak-free shine. For exactly 2 weeks, your vision is perfect. And then, the glare inevitably returns. The smearing returns. The chattering returns. You are trapped in an endless cycle of engineered obsolescence. We break that cycle permanently. There is a single, inexpensive liquid mixture that costs exactly $1 to synthesize in your own home. It destroys windshield glare forever. It strips away the microscopic films that cause wiper chatter, restoring your glass to an optical clarity that modern automotive companies absolutely despise. If you have a vehicle sitting in your driveway right now with streaking, chattering wipers that you just replaced a few months ago, drop the word blind in the comments below. We want to know exactly how many people are currently dealing with this exact manufactured problem, blindly pouring their hard-earned money into a system that is deliberately designed to fail them. To understand the cure, you must first understand the poison. The global automotive vision and wiper industry is not in the business of clear glass. They're in the business of recurring revenue. If they sold you a wiper blade and a cleaning fluid that kept your windshield perfectly clear for 5 years, their entire financial model would collapse overnight. This is the absolute foundation of manufactured complexity. When you buy commercial auto glass cleaners, you are not buying soap and water. You are buying a highly engineered cocktail of synthetic polymers, artificial waxes, and aggressive ammonia-based solvents. These chemicals are specifically formulated to leave a microscopic, hydrophobic film on your glass. The corporations market this invisible film as a protective barrier that repels water. But what they explicitly hide is that this exact chemical film acts like a magnet for airborne road grime, diesel exhaust particulates, and atomized engine oil from the highway. Worse still, these synthetic chemicals actively degrade the rubber and silicone compounds in your expensive wiper blades. They cause the leading edge of the blade to harden, warp, and drag across the glass. The commercial cleaner you buy to fix the smear is the exact chemical causing the smear. They create the disease in their laboratories, and then they lease you the temporary treatment on a retail shelf. The permanent solution to this problem was not discovered yesterday. It was perfected over 8 decades ago, long before the modern automotive chemical cartel even existed. We have to look back to the classified archives of the Naval Research Laboratory in the year 1943. During the absolute height of global conflict, naval aviation faced a catastrophic operational crisis. Bomber pilots operating in harsh maritime environments were returning to their aircraft carriers completely blind. The combination of dense ocean salt spray, high-altitude freezing temperatures, and atomized engine oil from heavy radial engines coated their windshields in an impenetrable, glaring film. In combat, optical clarity is not a luxury. It is a matter of absolute survival. The military could not rely on commercial marketing or retail chemical brands. They needed raw, uncompromising surface tension dynamics. The engineers at the Naval Research Laboratory developed a strictly classified protocol for treating aircraft glazing. They discovered a specific, highly diluted liquid compound that completely altered the oleophobic properties of the glass. It did not leave a protective film. It actively stripped the glass down to its raw molecular state, rendering it entirely impervious to oil binding and salt adhesion. The bomber pilots reported unprecedented visual clarity, even when flying directly into the blinding glare of enemy searchlights. So why are you not buying this exact compound at your local dealership today? Because the raw materials cost mere pennies to procure. You cannot patent basic chemistry, and what you cannot patent, you cannot build a billion-dollar industry on. They did not hide it because it failed. They hid it because it worked too well. Stay with me, because to accurately replicate this military-grade optical clarity, you need to understand exactly how the modern commercial film behaves on a microscopic level. In the year 2012, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology Department of Chemistry published a highly technical paper detailing the oleophobic properties of diluted silicates. They found that commercial blue glass cleaners do not actually clean the glass. Instead, they deposit an uneven, jagged landscape of chemical residue. When oncoming headlights hit your windshield at night, the light rays strike this jagged landscape and refract in 1,000 different directions, causing the blinding glare you experience. The automotive industry generates hundreds of millions of dollars annually just on premium wiper blades and specialty vision fluids. The Auto Care Association projected massive compounding profits based on the mathematically calculated assumption that your windshield will inevitably become smeared, forcing you back to the checkout counter. They buried the science. We dig it up. If you made it this far, you already know significantly more about the chemical reality of automotive glass than 99% of consumers and professional mechanics. Subscribe to this channel and share this transmission to protect this knowledge before the industry tries to erase it again. We do not accept the corporate narrative, and we refuse to pay for engineered failures. We are about to break down the exact naval aviation liquid formulation, but you must listen carefully. Most people who try to deep clean their windshields permanently ruin their glass by using abrasive scouring pads or heavy industrial solvents. There is a specific preparatory step that absolutely guarantees the result. The Naval Liquid Protocol does not rely on exotic chemicals. It relies on a specific sequence of acidic breakdown and rapid evaporation using 3 components likely sitting in your kitchen right now. First, you need pure white distilled vinegar, standardized at exactly 5% acidity. Second, you need 90% or higher isopropyl alcohol. Third, you need perfectly pure distilled water. You must never use tap water, as the microscopic calcium and magnesium minerals will leave permanent hard water spots that act like tiny crystalline prisms for nighttime glare. The formulation methodology is exactly as follows. Take a completely clean, empty spray bottle. Pour in precisely 1 cup of the distilled water. This acts as the neutral carrier matrix for the active agents. Next, add exactly 1/2 cup of the white distilled vinegar. The acetic acid inside the vinegar is the absolutely critical solvent here. It possesses the exact molecular structure required to aggressively shatter the synthetic polymer chains and wax resins left behind by the commercial blue glass cleaners. Acetic acid is entirely ignored by the automotive industry simply because it cannot be branded with a flashy retail label. Finally, add exactly 1/2 cup of the 90% isopropyl alcohol. The heavy alcohol serves a vital dual purpose in this chemical matrix. First, it immediately solubilizes the heavy road oils and atomized diesel exhaust that the vinegar detaches from the glass surface. Second, it acts as a hyper-evaporative agent. The greatest mechanical flaw of commercial cleaners is that they sit wet on the glass for far too long, allowing the chemical residues to bond and harden. The high concentration alcohol flashes off the surface of the glass almost instantly, carrying the dissolved oils into the air and leaving absolutely zero residue behind. This is the exact three-part compound that the naval bomber crews utilized to maintain their optics in the harshest environments on Earth. But possessing the liquid is only half the protocol. The application methodology is where the magic of surface tension dynamics truly happens. This is the secret step that you must not ignore. You must perform this entire process in a shaded, cool environment, absolutely never under direct, hot sunlight. If the windshield glass is hot to the touch, the alcohol will flash off much too quickly, long before the acetic acid has the necessary time to break down the hardened polymer crust. Take your wiper blades and fold them up away from the glass. You will not be wiping this chemical away with standard paper towels. Paper towels are manufactured using industrial binding glues and rough wood pulp that leave microscopic lint fibers scattered across the surface of the windshield. These tiny fibers catch the ambient light and create a hazy glow. Instead, you must use a completely clean, entirely dry, tightly woven microfiber towel. Spray the liquid generously across the driver's side of the windshield. Do not attempt to clean the entire glass surface at once. Work in small, isolated sections. Let the liquid sit undisturbed on the glass for exactly 15 seconds. This is the required dwell time for the acetic acid to shatter the molecular bonds of the recurring revenue film. You will actually see the liquid begin to separate and bead up in strange, unnatural patterns as it physically fights the synthetic waxes. Now, take your microfiber towel and fold it neatly into quarters. This gives you 8 completely clean, distinct surfaces to work with. Wipe the liquid off using strict, overlapping horizontal motions. You must never wipe in circles. Circular wiping simply redistributes the emulsified oils back into the micropores of the glass, creating swirl marks that capture light. Horizontal strokes physically push the lifted contaminants off the edge of the optical viewing area. Once the glass feels completely dry and smooth to the touch, flip your microfiber towel to a fresh, dry side and buff the glass one final time. You will feel a sudden, shocking lack of friction. The towel will glide across the windshield as if it is floating on a cushion of air. That total lack of friction is the absolute absence of the commercial chemical film. You have reached bare glass. But we are not finished. If you stop the protocol here, you will simply recontaminate the pristine glass the very next time it rains. Remember, those expensive premium silicone wiper blades you bought are currently coated in the exact same toxic, oily sludge. Take a small corner of your microfiber towel and saturate it heavily with the pure isopropyl alcohol. Pinch the rubber edge of your wiper blade with the soaked towel and pull it firmly from one end to the other. Look closely at the towel. It will be covered in a thick, black, greasy stripe. That is not the rubber degrading, road grime, and commercial polymer buildup that has been causing your blades to chatter and skip across the glass. Keep finding a clean spot on your towel, soaking it with alcohol, and wiping the blade repeatedly until the towel comes away perfectly clean. You have just fully restored a $40 set of wiper blades using approximately 5 cents worth of basic alcohol. The automotive care industry carefully engineers their fluids to ensure your vision degrades slowly, day by day, relying entirely on your lack of historical knowledge. But the physical science of oleophobic properties is entirely immutable. When you strip the glass down to its raw state using this $1 acetic and alcohol matrix, water literally cannot grip the surface. When you drive through a heavy storm at night, the water will hit the glass and immediately shatter into microscopic beads that fly off aggressively into the aerodynamic slipstream. The oncoming headlights will pass cleanly through the pure glass without refracting or blinding you. You have now reclaimed your optical safety from a $500 million cartel and implemented a classified military protocol in your own driveway for pennies. Let the uneducated masses waste their money on expensive, recurring subscriptions to synthetic chemical cocktails. You are no longer part of their economic machine. We do not just fix the problem. We expose the exact corporate mechanism that created it. The glass is clear. The truth is clearer. Apply the liquid, reclaim your vision, and never look back.